Yeah, that always ends abruptly. I need to fix that.
What an intro.
Yeah. Man. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Talk. I am here with Renaldo Gouws. Not gonna lie, that threw me off a bit. Renaldo Gouws,
Yeah.
and you all have obviously seen him on his YouTube channel, Renaldo Gouws. Always calling it how it is, if I can put it that way. And Ronaldo has actually, you know what? I've said this before. I'll say it again. Ronaldo actually inspired me to do my own YouTube channel. And he's been extremely supportive as well on this channel. So thank you for that, Ronaldo. And yeah, so we're just here to have like a general conversation on things, current affairs of the world or South Africa. And Ronaldo and I were chatting just off the air now, and he predicts, well, he gave me a bit of a I told you so moment because he was on my stream earlier when I was on the ground at Brackenfell. And he said the EFF are not going to show. What's that term you always like to use? Nostra House?
Nostra Gouws or Siener van Gouws. One of the two. Whichever one fits your narrative better.
And you were correct. They didn't show up, and you were explaining to me why that is. Yeah, I didn't know it was such a coordinated effort. It makes sense. So Ronaldo thinks that they will arrive on Thursday or Friday. Either way, I will be there. I've noticed though that the EFF, like they keep on saying they're going to be there, but they don't give a time yet. So you must be correct when you say like it's a coordinated effort and stuff like that. They got to plan shit.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, they have to get the buses ready. They have to bus in people because it's not like they can just put out a call and then expect people just to arrive. Because when they do that, then you see what happened on the day. So if they just leave it to the coordination of how many supporters they actually have in the area, then it will turn out where it's like 15 or 20 people. So what they are doing now is they coordinating, they arranging buses, they have to arrange like feeding those people. So I'm expecting it like on Thursday or Friday because the court interdict fell through. It wasn't urgent. So I know that the courts, and it's, I don't know, the courts always seem to like be so like nonchalant about the fact that if they don't give the interdict, then everything will just be fine because the EFF lawyer said, "Oh, we promise not to do this." Well, the same happened to Clicks, and then look what happened to Clicks.
Since when does EFF ever keep a promise?
Yeah.
I think, yeah. What is your opinion on that? I mean, flip, man. How can the court not agree to that for school? I mean, these matrics are doing their exams. It's an important time for them. It's not like the schools are closed or anything like that. Everyone's complaining about that aspect of it, that the kids are writing their exams, and the court just doesn't seem to give a damn.
It's because it's always on technicalities though. But it's, that's why I'm saying if you use common sense, you'll see that, okay, there's definitely going to be disruption and there's definitely going to be the potential for violence. So the courts always apply this neutral mind saying, okay, well, if you promise to be good, then it's fine, because they went on the constitutional aspect that everybody's allowed to protest and you can't dictate where people can and cannot protest. But then again, there is a thing like a legal protest and an illegal protest. So now the question is, did they actually apply to the municipality to go and protest there? Because if not, if they're more than 15 people, they need to apply in order to, protest. So, I mean, it's like the court didn't even think about that. And it's quite scary that a layman like myself knows what the Constitution says and a judge can't implement or think about that.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, so I just want to say Yanni Vanderveld giving a 70 Rand super chat. Thank you so much, Yanni. And he says,
Thanks, Yanni.
He says, how do I get into EFF WhatsApp group? I want to forward some memes.
Become a cigarette smuggler and say that you're willing to donate like a bunch of cash. That always helps.
And you'll sponsor KFC. All right. So yeah, look, I think you summarized the event of yesterday very well in in your video about it, which is very well done. I think you're always, you shoot straight and to the point. So I would recommend people to go watch that video. Please excuse me, by the way, if I have low energy. I'm extremely tired from today. The sun, like, I think I only felt it when I got home. Like, oh my word, I'm sunburnt. And then
No,
in
you
the
look
past
more
hour.
like brown than usual. You look more Egyptian.
Yeah, I've been inside for quite a while. I think this is the longest I've ever been outside since the lockdown.
It's like,
So
what's
yeah.
that ball in the sky? What's a
But
date?
man, it was hot. It was freaking hot. But yeah, it was also like interesting at some points when I think it was in part 2 of my stream when the media came outside from the school and they were asking the parents like, "Hey, we want to ask you some questions." And then the parents like just went off at them. And then this one guy, Mornay, is part of the hear our voices or something like that, voices be heard or something like that, was like literally like saying like, you guys don't report correctly, you don't tell the truth, that's why these people don't want to talk to you, because you always twist things and stuff like that. And yeah, they were only able to interview a guy. There was a few guys from the ANC. Actually, I spoke to one. Yeah, like there's one guy from the ANC was like, yeah, in Brackenfell, there's so much racism. It's evident in the school and blah, 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 racism, racism, racism. And yeah, this area is full of it. And then I asked him, I said, do you live in Brackenfell? He's like, no, I live in Athlone.
It's like, yeah, so you should know. Well
Yeah.
done. You should know.
Shame.
You should have asked him, like, so, like, do you think that 10 white people in a group sitting on the same table is racist? And then if they said yes, then you say, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to swear on this channel.
Of course you are. This is
Fucking awesome.
dude, you've been on this channel before, but anyway.
I know, I just always, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Nick says hi, Nick 425. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions for Ronaldo, this is a very general discussion that we're going to have now. And I told Ronaldo as well that I had some sad news today. Don't worry, nobody
Well,
died.
what is the news? Because now, like, I need to know.
Yeah, I know you're waiting in anticipation. I'll tell you in 5 minutes. No, I'm kidding. So Ronaldo, I was so excited. I sent you a poster of my upcoming one-man show that is going to be filmed for TV.
Oh,
And
no.
unfortunately,
What?
yeah, unfortunately, it's been postponed.
Postponed or cancelled?
Postponed. News came in.
It's cock, but it's not bad.
Yeah, it's already been postponed once, and now I'm postponing it again for the same reasons, COVID. So yeah, apparently.
So it's not because you're being cancelled again.
No, not that. Definitely not.
Okay, well, that is a cock one, but I always like, I'm a glass half full type of guy. So my thing is, I think the president's going to come and make a announcement either this week or over the weekend or maybe early next week that they're removing the 250 people indoors and 500 people outside. So I think maybe it's a blessing in disguise, because imagine if you now had to go and pay for all of these things, and then what the president comes out and says that's going to be the case.
Yeah, so well, that's actually one of the reasons why they wanted to cancel, or not cancel, but postpone, is because they said, or the production team was like, look, we are hearing around the water cooler that we're gonna go into a bit of a stricter lockdown in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, then what can you do? What can I do? And yeah, it's
cock, eh? This whole lockdown is cock, dude.
But here's what I wanted to tell you. So this is some news, right? So I was having a discussion with the film crew and all that stuff, and we're discussing this. And apparently 40% of cinemas nationwide are closing. And some will be open only on the weekends, and some will only be open on Tuesday.
it's, like I've got this ritual. Like every Monday at about 3 p.m. Because I mean, I'm a movie fanatic. I love movies,
Yeah,
and
me too.
it's like one of my favorite things to do. Because like me and my dad, we religiously went to go and watch like a movie every single weekend. Like when I was younger, it was like the thing to do. So every Monday, I go onto boxofficemojo.com to check like what the new releases did, like if anyone broke a record, what the latest releases did. And like it's the go-to website, for international releases and local releases in America.
Mm,
And it's been really cocked to for like the last couple of months. Like you see that they're re-releasing old stuff and they're pushing
mm,
back the dates for all the classic things. Like I was happy. Like I mean, it's quite sad though because the only movie that I've actually seen this year is Tenet, which I actually went to go and
mm,
watch because as soon as I opened the cinemas again, I went to go and watch that in IMAX with my dad. And it's quite scary that, if because I mean, Port Elizabeth, as Roman says, is like, there's not a lot to do. And we're lucky that we have an IMAX. And I wouldn't go to the cinema if we didn't have an IMAX because then it
yeah.
defeats the purpose. And yeah, I mean, if that's the case, then that's going to be a really cock one. I do believe though that New Metro is probably more likely to shut down than Stir Kiniko purely because of their footprint.
I was
But
told.
yeah, dude, I
I was
mean,
told
you can't
everyone.
take
I was
the thing
told.
is
Yeah.
entertainment is entertainment. It's scary. You can't this lockdown has been cock and it's been really, really cock for like majority of the population. And what annoys me, and I'm sorry to go off on a completely different direction, what
No, but go
annoys
ahead.
me is that now we've got situations like this where the EFF is trying to like take over the narrative of lockdown because they've been nowhere for the last 7 months. I mean, from February until I would say the clicks incident, what have you heard from the EFF? What did you hear from Julius Malema, from Floyd Shivambu, and even from the woke left? The woke left was like they were forced to be silent because people didn't report on them. People reported on what was happening around the world, and then the woke left came back with the vengeance, and now EFF has come back with the vengeance, and it's just like, shut the fuck up. Like it's you're literally talking like the third biggest political party in South Africa is going to this random high school in the Western Cape because they are upset over a private party. That is literally how stupid it is. And then mainstream media is sucking this thing dry. And it's pathetic. It's pathetic. Adrian Basson is pathetic for allowing this cuck to continue. Every single editor that is allowing this to be in their papers or on their online platforms are absolutely ridiculous and idiotic for putting that out there. And I'm sorry, that was like a segue of note, but it's just like it is so. And maybe it's a good thing in a way because so many people are calling out the EFF, and
Mm.
people are saying that you're absolutely idiots for giving so much airtime to this like wannabe political party. But I mean, I'll discuss something a little bit later about the EFF that I want to share that I don't think a lot of people know about.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
So
That
now
was my rant.
you're gonna keep me in suspense now. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Well, I mean, I'll share it if you want me to. Like, I don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
So if you go to the EFF's like Twitter profile, can you do that? Like, it's
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
go
I
to the
can do it.
EFF's Twitter profile and then check their pinned tweet, if it is still their pinned tweet.
Yes, I saw that earlier. I'm gonna go there. Let me also share the screen quickly so people can see.
And this is like a
Here we
Joey
go.
Emilio exclusive.
Yay! There we go.
So yeah, you see that, right? Like just click
Mhm.
on one of those images just so people see, right? So now the EFF is calling this their labor desk because the EFF isn't sure whether they're a political party or a trade union, right? So what they are doing is they are giving out these numbers for people to complain of whether or not they were dismissed and if their company dismissed them, right? Now,
Okay.
in my ward, I've received 3 companies that have given me a call to say that they have been threatened by the EFF, saying that the EFF is going to come and protest and shut their business down. So, what you are seeing here with this labor desk is this labor desk is now to try to get 5 or 10 EFF members in every single area to go and protest outside of businesses because they've seen how efficient it is when they do it with clicks. They've seen how efficient it is when they do it with what is it, H&M, and
Mm,
now with Brackenfell. So it's like they're confused as to who and what they are because they're acting like a trade union when in actual fact they're a political party. So
mm,
this is nothing more than just to try and intimidate businesses and to get media attention. That is literally all that this is. And like I said, as a ward councillor, I've had a couple of businesses that has contacted me. And this all started yesterday, and you're going to see how it escalates even more. So they like shooting in the dark right now, looking for the next clicks. That is pretty much what they're doing. And
mm,
then some of them are obviously going to go to the businesses and then local media all around the country. Like, let's say, the Herald in Port Elizabeth will cover one specific one, and then a newspaper, a local newspaper in Durban, will focus on one. And this way, they get the media attention on the ground that they want when they can't get a big like national media publication like News 24 to cover anything. So this is nothing more than like a shakedown from the
mm,
EFF because businesses are scared shitless, and I don't know why, but businesses are scared shitless of speaking out because the businesses that I spoke to, I said, report it, like go public with it and condemn them. And they said, no, 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 they would rather not want to get involved. And I'm like, well, then I
mm,
can't help you. If you're not going to lay an official complaint, then there's nothing really much I can do because then it's just speculation. And it's
mm,
insane how scared these businesses are. And I get it. I get that you don't want to be the next clicks. I get that.
mm.
But at some point in time, you'll have to understand that you'll get more support from people when you stand up against these thugs than if you just like give into their demands and say, okay, no, let's do this, let's do that.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think it's actually also scary because, and I think they do it because they know like they're not going to get much of a resistance, so to speak. Like, people are scared because, like you said, with clicks, and then if they say anything, then it becomes a black and a white thing, and it becomes racism. And look at this company now; it's not happy because we said something, and yeah, this is not good. And what boggles my mind, Ronaldo, and it's I don't know if you read Cyril's letter that was released today about what happened yesterday.
Yeah, how it's apartheid's fault.
Yep. um,
Like he yeah, I read it and it's so typical Cyril.
it
It's
is.
like it's like I'm not going to strongly word it one way or another.
Yes,
I'm rather just going to blame the past and the injustices of the past. And then I'm going to put equal blame on the parents and the EFF. That's what I'm going to do. So, once
exactly.
again, our president acting like the absolute tit that he is, which is like a fence sitter. I've been called a fence sitter many, many times. And it's actually insulting to me that he is like because he is a proper fence sitter. I
Mm.
might be fence sitting on like a topic or another where I'm neutral in a regard, but I mean, god damn it, that guy is the poster child of a fence sitter if I've ever seen one.
I honestly don't think he writes those letters. I really don't think he writes
No,
those
of course,
letters.
no, of course he does not. But he is the final one that has the sign off. Remember, I
That's
mean, Jacob Zuma also had letters that, like, if you read it, you're like, this could not have been Jacob Zuma. Because Jacob Zuma's letters would have been like, 427,427,000. So you can cliterally see that
listen
it was
properly.
written by somebody else.
Yeah, that's what really pisses me off, and what I keep on saying, like, stop freaking writing letters. Like, I don't know why, but when I arrived at Brackenfell this morning, there was rumors going around that Cyril was going to be there. I don't know where that started, but later on, it was cleared up that he
Probably
wasn't
on
going to be there.
WhatsApp.
Probably WhatsApp, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I'm like, yo, if Cyril's coming, like, wow, maybe he's gonna make a stance. Maybe he's gonna cuck someone else. Obviously, it didn't
Nope.
come through. And I'm like, like, there was an old man there, and he was arguing with the mainstream media, and he was upset with them. I'm not sure of the entire story because I only caught the end tail of the argument or discussion. But at one point, the old man says, "Cyril is not my president," which I think
Mm.
a lot of South Africans feel that way. And
And
then
then
the
the media was like,
journalist, yeah, the media was like, but they weren't filming it. They were just having a discussion. And the one guy who I think is a cameraman, or I don't know what he was doing there, um, he was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! When you say something like that, though, don't you understand that that's a problem? Don't you understand that?" When you say that Cyril is not my president, it makes you sound like you're not South African and that you're special on some level. And I was like, wow, the brainwashing that has been
mm.
going on is unfreaking real. And I even said on the stream, I was like, saying that a president is not my president doesn't make you special, doesn't mean that you're racist, doesn't mean that you're like an evil person. It just means that you are a citizen of a country that is upset with its leadership, and you have every right to be upset with that leadership. Just like
Yeah.
if someone's an EFF supporter or a DA supporter and they don't agree with what Julius is doing or what Steenhuisen is doing, they have a right to give that opinion. They have a right to say he's not my leader if they don't agree. You don't have to twist it into this whole, like, they're just so focused on the race.
It's
Don't
simple though,
That's
because
all
it's
they
it's
see.
like the thing is like he didn't say Cyril Ramaphosa is not the president of South Africa. He said that Cyril Ramaphosa is not my president. And
You know.
like for many South Africans, they feel that Cyril Ramaphosa is not their president because let's start off with Cyril Ramaphosa saying that there's no farm murders taking place on a international stage right now. Please tell me how, as a farmer, you can consolidate that statement with supporting a president that is saying something isn't happening that directly affects you.
You
Like,
can't.
I don't understand. You see, the thing is, here's the thing, and I mean, this should be common knowledge, and if it's not, then you have a problem. And that is that mainstream media is not there to report on the news. That is
Mhm.
secondary. Mainstream media exists to turn a profit for their shareholders.
Yep.
Because without turning a profit for their shareholders, there would be no company. So Media 24, which is a part of Naspers, they exist and they were bought by Naspers in order to turn a profit for their shareholders. That is it. That's it. And they report on news that generates an income. So that is why they talk about EFF. That is why they talk about racism. Racism is not the biggest issue in South Africa right now, believe it or not. I'm sorry if this is like a shocker to people out there. Racism is but one small thing that a minority of people in this country are directly involved in with one another. Poverty is an issue. Crime is an issue. Unemployment is an issue. Those are the three biggest issues in South Africa at the moment. Racism is like in the distance. But when you look at what the media reports on, the media reports, I would say, equally on racism as what they are reporting on corruption.
Mm.
And compare the two with one another and how devastating the one is versus how devastating the other is. Because the irony of it all is that the same media that is there that is saying that it's this matric dance was racist, and the school is racist, they report that as the EFF in the background is singing songs about killing people because of the color of their skin. And for some magical reason, mainstream media can't see how this is a bunch of racists that are accusing other people of being racist, but yet can't prove it. But the media doesn't report on that. The media reports on, these parents that like turned aggressive and violent against
Mm.
a bunch of EFF individuals.
Yeah. I got another question for you. Like maybe you can clear this up for me. So one of the things that I'm very upset about when I was just as I was about to leave, some students came out, students of color, if I can put it that way, so black, and they were being interviewed by the mainstream media. And unfortunately, the mainstream media was able to steer the conversation into a racial conversation, and one of the students admitted or claimed rather that there is racism in the school. And one of the things that they also said was they are disappointed that there's not enough diversity. So there's not enough people of color that are teachers, and there's also not enough people of color or students of color in the classes. Now, I understand it like this. If you have a school in a district, right? The people in that district can apply to that school, all right? And if that district is 80% white and 20% colored, you're going to have a majority in your class that are white because of the demographics in that area. Am I wrong to think that? Is that not how it works?
No, it's 100% right. I mean, if I go to Kailicha and I go and protest outside of school that they don't have enough white pupils in that school, do you think that would be an idiotic argument, or do you think it would be a valid argument?
Can
Now,
you,
before people are triggered and lose their minds, yes, I would think that by now, if we had a competent government, there would have been far better integration, you know,
mm,
with regards to people living in areas and a mix and match of people of different races and color and creeds. But unfortunately, we aren't there. So, but what we're doing now is, instead of blaming the government for their failure, what we are doing is we're blaming the principals and the teachers and calling them racist for it. Like, how
mm,
does that make sense? So you completely excuse the government for failing to integrate and allowing people to move out of the townships by uplifting themselves. And in the process, you are now you are cucking on the wrong people, and you're giving the government like a free pass to say, don't worry, we're not going to blame you. What we'll blame is we'll blame this principal and the teachers and the parents that dare put their children in the school. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ludicrous.
that's
But
exactly
and
what they
that's
were
the
doing.
other thing is like here's the thing. Here's the thing, Joe. You can go around, let's say you can go to any school in South Africa, right? And I'm pretty sure that you can find a racist or two at least in every single school, whether it's a black racist, a white racist, a Indian racist, or a color racist, right? The problem is you have to ask yourself, on average, out of the entire school, how many of the pupils are racist, right? Then I would say, I would like, on the upper limit, let's say 5 to 10% of the school is racist, right? So now it's like, fuck the 90% or the 95%. We're going to focus on these 5% of kids that are racist, probably because their parents are racist, or arguably because they've had like an experience that made them feel that way. The problem is that you're going to find racism everywhere in South Africa,
Mm,
but you're going to find that it's the minority of cases, whereas the vast majority of people don't think that way, don't feel that way, and especially with the young generation. But here's the caveat. Is it caveat? Caveat. I can't.
caveat.
I don't know. I'm trying to be fancy, but I don't even know how to say it right. The caveat to this is that the EFF and the ANC are causing young people to see each other as black and white and
Yeah.
colored. And they are causing, because the thing is, you see it at university level with the student bodies, like the EFF student command or whatever. You are seeing how they are trying to affect these young individuals by saying, you're living in this colonial white system that has always been trying to oppress you. And what happens is this individual, because they're in this bubble, goes, whoa, wait, I've never thought about it like that.
Mm,
Yanni and Pete, who were friends at school with me, were never really friends with me. They always were just there because I was like this or that. And then that is what causes like this young generation to start hating one another. And that is why you see that all these like must fall movements are involving the youth that
mm,
never directly experienced a day under apartheid. Yes,
mm,
they've experienced the legacy of that, but they're blaming a grouping of people because of the color of their skin rather than the government. That is
mm.
the problem.
Yeah, another thing I heard also is the one guy was saying he's disappointed as well that they still take Afrikaans, or that lessons are still taught in Afrikaans, which I was like, it's Brackenfell, but like,
But
they teach like they teach Afrikaans and English, like, but like he's mad because like they do that. Like there's no Xhosa or whatever language
but I
he would
don't.
like them to
You
do.
see, I don't understand that logic because, like, even myself, I went to an Afrikaans high school, right? And when I went to university, to Nelson Mandela University, it was English. And I had to suck it up because I chose to go to Nelson Mandela University. I could have probably have saved up a year or two and then have gone to an Afrikaans university or have done correspondent like training or whatever in Afrikaans. But I decided to embrace, the language that they are teaching in, and that is what it is. Like
Mm,
I don't understand it. And Afrikaans is one of the official languages. So, you know,
mm.
it is what it is. You can't always get what you want. If I could get what I want, then every day would be a Saturday. Unfortunately, that can't happen, you know?
Yeah,
So
exactly. It was really sad to see some of these students. I wanted to interview one of them, but I just couldn't. They eventually I lost them. But yeah, it was sad to
it's
see
also
that.
because it's a shitty thing to do, though. It's a shitty thing to try and get like a student, put them on the spot, and then like try and drive a narrative like ETV did yesterday with that colored parent,
Mm,
in which they tried to ask him all these questions to manipulate it. Like,
yeah,
like it's
did
what's
that.
that
They
one
did that.
question that, yeah, it's a question like, um, what is that question? Is it, have you stopped beating your wife? Yes or no? The way that you ask the question, it's like it's as if you ever like it's like you've beaten
Mm,
your wife. It's like, have
exactly.
you stopped beating your wife? Yes or no? Like if you say
Yeah,
yes, then it's like you did stop. If you say no, then it means you're still continuing to beat your wife.
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
no matter how you answer it, you're going to like lose. And that's what
Mm,
obviously what happened there.
yeah. And then there was also people from Kosasa or something like that, that came and they toyed for literally a minute, and then like I'm not even
We
kidding
were,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers. Bye.
Something like that, because they
I saw the
toyed and
ANC
then
was there too.
yeah, the ANC was there, and then DA wasn't there, eh? I was a bit disappointed.
The
I'm not
DA
gonna lie.
wasn't there because the DA released a press statement with regards to it. But in actual fact, the premier was there. The premier, Alan Wendy, was there. So I mean, how much higher do you want in the DA?
Henzela
No, why Helen? Like, I mean, Helen is, Helen doesn't need to be everywhere. Same
or
with
John,
John.
yeah, John
No, they don't
Stevens.
have to be there.
No, just so I can
The
interview them.
premier of the Western Cape is Alan Wendy. He is the premier, which means it's his responsibility, and he was
Yeah,
there. And you
yeah,
know
yeah.
what? I love the fact that the DA, I think it was last night, called the EFF Nazis. Loved it. Loved it.
Yes, yes.
And the reason for that is
Finally,
quite simple. Let me break it down. Sorry, I burped on your channel. The
it's okay.
reason that I'm saying that it's 100% okay to call the EFF Nazis is because that is exactly what they are. They are a political party that has time and time again said various different things in which they are calling for white people to be killed. Now, the last time I checked, there were 4.5 million white people in South Africa. Now, they're very clever with their wording. They're saying, oh, Kill the Boer is just a struggle song. Okay, great. Let's pass that one. Now, let's go to, you said, we are going to slit the throat of whiteness. Okay. Now you say, okay, cool. So what about that? Oh, no, it was figurative. We meant like
Mm,
whiteness, and we're not white people. Okay. And then it's like, oh, okay. And then the next one is, we're not calling for the slaughtering of white people, at least for now. And you're like, oh,
mm,
what about that? We say, but we didn't say, now. We said at least for now. So here you've got a political party that all sing songs about killing white people. And if
mm,
they had their way, they would arguably kill white people. So,
mm,
what exactly is wrong in calling them Nazis because they want the mass extinction of a specific ethnicity?
mm,
What is like the Jews might not have been well, the Jews are an ethnicity.
mm.
Or yeah, I need to think now. They a religious grouping, or are they the Jews are ethnicity on their own? Are they not? I don't know.
I think
I'm
religious would
confused.
probably
Yeah.
be
But
more
the
accurate.
point is that like it's a mass extinction event that they're requesting.
Mm.
So, how can you not? And this the really sad part is that the South African Human Rights Commission is just like nowhere.
Oh my word, God! Don't even get me started
I
with
mean,
that. They just
one of the
defend,
most useless organizations in the history of our democracy, right?
not just
I mean,
not
you
just
saw the
that.
video in which they came out and said, oh, we don't classify what this person said as racist because it was uttered from a black person. It's like, do you know what the Constitution says? Like, do you
Mm,
even know the Constitution?
exactly. Um, like to your point about the whole Nazi thing, right? So the Nazis were National Socialists. That's basically what they were, right? It's in the name, right?
Yeah,
The National Socialists, and the EFF are always saying that they are a socialist party, that they believe in socialism. So I mean,
yeah.
boom, there's one, there's another nail in the coffin for that one. Um, but yeah, you say that and you get in trouble. I just want to say hi to Robin, who was interviewed when I was on the ground. He says it was great meeting you today, Joe. Robin Adams here, Trump 2020. Robin, thank you so much for tuning in, and it was great meeting you too, buddy. Thank you once again for being willing to being interviewed on my show. Thanks for the interview. Doesn't matter. Um, yeah. So, dude, I think for me, and I think this was asked last night. I was doing a stream with Yanni and Amy, and we asked, like, or someone asked in the chats, I think, like, is it gonna get better? Someone asked, like, do you think South Africa will ever get better? And I said the only way I think it could get better if the EFF can just somehow be defeated. And when I say defeated, I mean just canceled, whatever it is you want to call it, like just go, just leave, just destroyed, like just no longer exist as a party. I
Well,
think that will help.
it's not going to happen with the IEC or with the South African Human Rights Commission or anything like that. What's going to happen is within the next 5 years, people are going to get cocky and they're going to start fighting Julius Malema for the leadership position. And once that happens, you're going to see the EFF crumble because the EFF exists as an organization around one individual, Julius Malema. And as soon as there's going to be a different person, maybe it might be Floyd, maybe not, maybe it's, I don't know, whoever it
Ndlozi.
might be. Yeah, like nah, and Lozi is Malema's ice boy. He's not going to do anything. He'll go to war with Malema. He'll take a bullet for Malema. Um, if it might be Floyd Shivambu, it might be like I don't know somebody else. But the thing is, as soon as that happens, that will completely like break the party down, like in the middle. It'll split the party immediately, and then before you know it, like I mean, if you thought that the ANC conferences are bad. Wait until you see a bunch of like individuals that have been told that it's fine to throw stones and hurl insults at one another. Like you're going to see something like seriously bad taking place. And I believe that like Julius Malema is like close to his expiry date. I do think so. I think there are a lot of people that are upset in the background, in the EFF, waiting for their turn. And you remember they've got short attention spans because they all want to be the center of attention. So you're going to see like massive infighting because they're still a young organization. I believe they're 8 years old or something. So within the next 5 years, you're going to start seeing the rift in the
Mm.
party, and then it's going to crumble. So it's not going to come from outside; it's going to come from inside, and I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that to happen because it's going to be
Mm.
spectacular. It's going to be spectacular.
Well, I hope so. I hope you're right because, like I said, I think the only way South Africa can move forward is if that party just ceases to exist.
Well, they
See the
just need
mainstream
one bad
media
election
stopping what they're
result.
doing.
They need one bad election result, which will probably happen, I suspect, in 2024. I think in 2021 they will still grow a little bit. But I believe in 2024 they're going to get a reality check because I don't think that they are realistically a party that can grow more than 15%. They can't grow past 15%. But if I'm proven wrong and they grow, like I'd say 16, 17%, then I'm out. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm not
Mm.
staying here. I'm not going to risk my future or my wife's future on like a party that is spewing hatred and getting bigger and bigger. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I believe that the majority of people, because remember, Twitter isn't real life, right? And where does the EFF thrive? The EFF thrives on Twitter. Twitter's got 6 million active users in South Africa, which means it's 10% of the population. 5% of those individuals are very loud, and then
Mm.
maybe 2% of those are loud EFF supporters. So, like, Twitter isn't real life. It's not
Mm.
real life. Let me actually, like, while you talk, I'm actually going to find out how much they got in the last elections. So you can do your little bit.
Thank you. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, very quickly, I'm just going to go through some of the comments here. Robin replying and saying, "Thanks, Joe. Keep up the great work." You're welcome, buddy. Thank you so much for subscribing and watching my show. And to everybody else that's watching at the moment, thank you so much. Stronger Together agrees with you, Ronaldo. 100% agree with Ronaldo. If EFF get into power, get too powerful, time to go. Nick saying Twitter is a toilet. I can't disagree with that. And then Gareth G saying electronic freedom fighters, aka Twitter warriors. Pretty much, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to also, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. Give this video a like. You can also follow me on social media. All my links are in the description, and you can become a member for as little as 10 Rand. I'm cheaper than Ronaldo. Yes, I am. And if you want to also support right now, you can give a super chat for any amount is greatly appreciated. So yeah, what did you want to show us?
Well, they got 1.8 million votes, which is 10.8%, right? So some people might go, "Oh, wow,
Mm.
that is quite substantial." But now remember, here's the thing that you have to understand.
Mm.
Let's say, for argument's sake, that half of those individuals are just passive EFF supporters. They don't necessarily believe in the aggressive nature of the EFF, but they don't want to vote for the ANC because they're disappointed with the ANC, so they vote with the EFF. So that is 50% gone. So then we're left with 900,000. Now, let's say all 900,000 of those individuals are actually quite aggressive, and they hate democracy and they hate white people. It's 900,000 people out of 60 million people. That is what you need to remember. So the EFF at the moment is like an 11% party. And
Mm.
remember, that's 11% out of the voting population, not
Mm.
11% out of the total
Nation.
population.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that they'll grow until like 14, 15%. And then the infighting will start. And then what will
Mm.
happen is eventually, I think Julius Malema will end back with the ANC. and then whomever is left and who beat him would actually then run the EFF, but then it'll be a shadow of its former self. And then we have to worry about the ANC. But by
Yeah.
then, the ANC hopefully won't be like, a serious contender anymore.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Well, hopefully we'll see. I'll be honest, I don't know which party I'm going to vote for in the next election. I'm in two minds about the DA. I don't know, man. There's so much. I don't know what to believe anymore with the DA. Like, and I don't mean like your policies or anything like that. I don't know. Like, I feel like the DA now is like Trump. Like, in terms of like, there's so much hate on the DA. Like, there's a lot of hate on the DA. Like, from what I can see,
Well, is it
people.
justified? That's the question you have to ask yourself.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm not saying it is or it
Well, no,
isn't
I
at
can
this
answer
stage.
it. No, it's not justified. It's not. I
So
mean,
some
you
people
just
say
use.
you're a watered down version of ANC, like your ANC light.
Okay,
There's
great. Prove it. Can they prove it? Because
well,
I can also
apparent.
make claims. I can claim somebody is a rapist. Does that make them a rapist? I'm just saying.
No,
I
of
mean,
course not.
it's easy to throw like things out there, like, oh, the DA
Yeah.
does not care about this, or the DA is the ANC light. Well, prove it. Prove it in our policies, because there's a massive difference between a communist movement and a liberal movement. There's a massive difference between the two. So you can't go and make a statement like that. And then on
Mm,
top of that, like, I'm assuming you live in the Western Cape, right?
yeah.
Have you been to any of the other provinces in South Africa recently?
Not recently.
Okay, so do yourself a favor. If you want to check whether or not you should vote DA, come visit me in the Eastern Cape when you get a chance. And
Cool.
then tell me, like, come and look at the things here, look at the state of the roads, look at the infrastructure, and then tell me whether or not you believe that the DA isn't. You might not like the personalities within the DA. I mean, hell, there's some personalities in the DA that I don't like,
Mm,
but I know that where the DA governs, it governs better than anybody else, and it
mm,
governs at a world class standard. So people in the Western Cape that have left to go to Gauteng for business or to the Eastern Cape for a holiday, they know. So
mm,
now you have to ask yourself the question, are you going to not vote for a political party because you might not like what somebody tweeted or what somebody said? Or are you going to vote for a party because they deliver and they've got the most clean audits, and they deliver where they say they are?
mm.
Not trying to convince you, I'm just saying.
No, I know. But that's the thing. Like, I follow you a lot. So, like, I've seen some of the things that you've posted. When you're frustrated with how the ANC is taking care and or not taking care rather of the roads or public infrastructure and all that stuff. So I've seen that, and I do believe that the DA definitely runs the Western Cape far better than the ANC, and I think that's why the Western Cape has been a stronghold for the DA for many many years. So there is some merit to that.
So, but
Um,
isn't, like, let me interject, isn't that reason enough right now
mm,
to vote for the DA? Like, let's just use that argument, because at the moment we've got an economy that is like shrinking, right? We've got metros that are crumbling, right? Is that not a good enough reason right now just to vote for the DA, based on the fact that when you give 100 cents of your tax money, 100 cents are being spent? Is that
yeah.
not reason enough right now in 2020 leading up to 2021 to vote for the DA? Irrespective of what you think of John Steenhuisen, of Helen Ziller, of whomever, Alan Wendy, Renaldo Gouws, Boomzil Van Dam, Gwen Ngwenya, whomever. Is it
Mm,
not a good enough reason to vote for the DA because you know that you're going to get services delivered and you know that there ain't going to be any corruption? Is that not a good enough reason? Would you rather risk voting for a new political party that does not have a snowball's chance in hell of giving the ANC a blood nose? Because
mm,
those are the two options. You can either have the ANC for another 5 years, which means that your city is going to go even more to shit, or you can vote for a party that has got a track record and shows that it delivers services. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to convince people to vote for the DA. I'm just laying it out as it stands right now. You don't
Mm,
have to like everybody in a political party to understand what that political party does and where it delivers. The simple question you have to ask yourself is, does the DA govern better than anybody else in this country? And if the answer is yes, then it should be that simple. It
mm,
really should be that simple. Once we are economically in a better situation, then you can go, you know what? I don't like the DA because of X, Y, or Z. Then
mm,
you can have that opportunity. But at the moment, it's the ANC, which is going to definitely screw this country more, or
mm,
it is the official opposition, which really has an amazing track record of delivering services. But I
mm.
mean, that's my opinion, and I'm biased because I am part of the DA.
Yeah, I think also what might be a thing is like I think maybe the DA has like a silent majority, and I hope that is the case. I think like because I've seen people on social media, Facebook and Twitter, who say I'm a DA supporter, and then they get like, oh my word, the amount of flack those people get for saying that, like, oh, you're a racist, oh, you want apartheid back. It's like obviously it's trolls and bots and all that stuff saying
Yeah,
this
the
crap.
most diverse party in South Africa is racist. Can please
Yeah.
tell me more? Please tell me more. The only political party that has had a female leader, right? Please tell me more. Like, I mean,
Mm,
the
mm,
only political party of the serious political parties that has had a female leader, right? The only political party that had a leader of a different race, right? Please tell me more. Please tell me more.
mm,
Has the
mm.
ANC ever had a white leader? No. Have they had a colored leader? No. Right? Okay. No, but the ANC is not racist and the DA is racist, right? Has the EFF or the ANC ever had a female leader? No. Okay. So sexist, right? Oh, no, but the DA, the DA is sexist. It's like, where does it end? Where does it
No,
end?
no, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I think like I personally think that's why I feel like the DA is kind of like a Trump situation
Mm,
because there's a lot of flack if you say that you support the DA, and so people will just remain quiet and wait for the day when they go vote. Because I really do think, and I hope, because even today, when I was at Brackenfell and talking to some of the people, everyone was saying, I'm voting, I'm voting, I'm voting. They wouldn't say who
mm,
they're voting for, but
mm,
they would say, like, I'm going to go vote, you know?
mm,
Um, everyone, I think we're going to have one of the biggest turnouts in our history
mm.
for the next elections.
Yeah, the mail-in votes is going to make a massive difference. Joke. Joke. Before Real 411 like complains about the streams.
Everyone's like, we're getting mail-in votes.
Yeah. What? What? Listen, I have to give you credit. I see that you've hung the South African flag in the right way. Not a lot
I
of people
googled.
get it right.
I
So
googled.
well done.
I googled.
Yeah.
I googled because people gave me shit for hanging the. Not that I meant to. I didn't mean to do it, but apparently
Yeah.
my flag was the wrong way around. And oh my word, did people get offended? So I was like, okay, cool. I'll adjust that. And then when I got the South African flag, I was like, okay, let me Google because I know people are gonna have a fanny wobble if it's not hung the
Yeah.
right way. So I was like, I was
Well
prepared.
done.
Yeah. And now this is other thing, like assumption is the mother of all fuck ups, right? So like there's some videos that people watch on my YouTube channel. I'm getting comments, and I'm gonna do pretty soon a hate comment video or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
People are commenting and saying like, "Why is this pompous YouTuber from America commenting on South? All you YouTubers just need to like mind your own business and focus on your own country." And I'm like, I live here, you jackass.
Hmm.
Also, I am South African, so I don't
Even if you
understand
didn't, though,
side of it.
like, I mean, you're allowed to give comment. I mean, we
Yeah,
live in a global space. We've got this thing called the internet, that connects people around the world. So, I mean, like, even even if that was the case, then just tell them to shut up. Simple as that. Tell them to sack.
exactly.
Quite
Sec.
simple. Yeah.
Oh crap! I'm sorry. I'm not wearing your shirt. I usually do wear it
It's
almost
fine.
every
Thank
stream.
you. I appreciate it that you're not, because like people are asking, when do you wash that shit? So I'm happy that you're not, because I was going to say something smells funky, but I mean, I'm happy. It's still orange, so it's good. You've got it covered.
Dude, I washed that shirt the other day. I wash it like every other day. Like, no joke. I
Well, you see the quality because it lasts and it doesn't shrink. So you see, it's
exactly.
quality.
I can't believe people are asking. Are people really asking you that?
What?
That when do I wash that shirt?
No, man, I'm joking. I'm
Oh,
just
okay, I
joking.
was like, hey, you never know. YouTube is weird, man. YouTube, like, people ask the weirdest cuck.
Yeah, it's
Like,
like Joe
seriously.
does not shower or clean himself. He just wears the same shirt every single day. Every
Now you're
day.
making now you're making me feel subconscious. Thank you.
It's fine. You can always, like, if you smell, you can always just buy some sack. And you can see I'm actually using it because, like, half of it's gone. It's brilliant, though. It
Yes,
smells delicious. Like, well
yes,
done,
ladies and
Kif.
gentlemen, that is Ronaldo's new fragrance that he just
No, it's
released.
not mine. It's no, it's the Kifnesses that he stole from me, my idea.
Oh, okay. Look, we don't have a lot of time. I know you have a stream coming up on your channel, so everybody can go check you out on your channel. But very quickly, once again, please tell us about that exciting news that you have, that new channel that you're going to be streaming from if you hit 5,000
Oh
subscribers.
yeah. Oh yeah, so I mean, some of the, like, media or the journalists in, like, their super secret WhatsApp group has labeled some of us pod bros,
Mm,
because we're all like alpha males walking around high-fiving each other and doing, like, all bro stuff. So we decided, well, let's lean into it. So myself, Ramon, and Germ, like, started Pod Bros, but it's not just Joe, myself, and Ramon. I mean, it's everybody that is against sort of speaking out against the mainstream narrative. So you included, Yanni, Chris Wyatt. It's a bunch of different people that just forms part of the Pod Bros because
mm,
we alternative media. We don't get paid to write opinion pieces, and then it has to be approved by an editor in order for us to get our paychecks. So we started Pod Bros. You can go and check it out. And then once we hit 5,000 subscribers, we'll start doing live streams. There is a video currently that's on the channel that needs to be watched 4,000 hours in order for us to be monetized and to get live stream privileges and all of that. So be sure to go and check it out. Subscribe, and then we'll start doing live streams from there. We'll get Joe on, we'll get Chris on, and I mean, it's a big family. It's not Roman, Ronaldo, and Germ. It's people that forms part of the alternative media.
sweet. I'm looking forward to it, man. I mean, you guys have did a few episodes, I think, on Ramon's channel to help promote it as well. You guys are flipping funny. I gotta admit, like, it's like,
We just
you,
we love trolling. Like, trolling just comes naturally to all of us.
but you're each like an own character. It's like you're like the level-headed one in this, and then Ramon's like the instigator, and Germ is just the naughty little shit. It's almost like Ed, Ed and Eddie, like
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm the one that has to, like, just like go, oh my god, I can't
Yeah, yeah.
believe that they said that.
Like, I don't blame you. I was on a
Yeah.
stream with Germ as well, and I'm like, oh god, no, dude, like,
Yeah,
don't you
please just
learn?
shut up.
Don't
Just
you
shut up,
learn?
Jim. Yeah.
I think after your first episode, you guys are going to be canceled.
The,
You
the
guys
the
got to be
irony is
careful.
that the name Pod Bros, it doesn't even make sense because the thing is, like, none of us, like, well, Ramon used to do a podcast with Jonathan Witt in the Renegade
Mm,
Report, but it just shows, like, how out of touch these journalists are by calling us Pod Bros.
mm,
Having a YouTube channel is at least it's at its least it's not a podcast. A podcast is audio. When
mm.
you put pictures, moving images behind it, then it changes. I'm sorry to break their hearts,
Yeah,
but it's not a podcast, right? So calling us Pod Bros is like, just, it's hilarious. But hey, we'll they
yeah,
actually try to, like, change the name now because we've like jumped into
yeah.
it. I
We've
know
owned
that
it.
Chris
Yeah.
Chris Groper has now put a poll up. I'm sure, like, the verdict is out on renaming us, and we're just like, nah, Zach, we're Pod Bros. That's what you called us. We'll stick to it.
It's a cool name, to be honest. It's not an insult.
Pod bros, what you gonna
What you gonna
do?
do?
What you gonna
What you
do
gonna
when they
do
write
when they
about
try?
you?
Yeah.
Pop bro,
What you gonna do?
So yeah,
That was weird.
exactly.
Someone's gonna clip that. Um, all right,
Story of our lives.
buddy. It is time to say goodbye. I know you've got a stream now. So Ronaldo, thank you again, man, for joining me, for having this conversation. It was long overdue. I just wanted to have a bit of a catch up, see how you're doing, and you seem great. It's good to see you in good spirits again.
Same here,
So
bro.
yeah, I will definitely chat to you later, and enjoy your stream. Keep doing what you're doing. And ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to check out Sec Clothing. Please support Ronaldo with that. He's got some great merchandise, great quality. I got to get myself I actually, you know what, man? I want to get the freaking
The buff.
oh, yeah, the buff, because I wanted to wear it so badly at
Fucking
Brackenfell.
buy it. Stop begging. Buy it. Go to
I'm gonna,
techclothing.com and buy it. Like
I'll
Jesus,
buy
what
it. Damn it.
do I look like a
Okay.
charity? Go and buy the
No,
shit.
I'm gonna buy it. Damn. Okay.
Okay.
Jeez. All right, now fuck off.
Yeah. Tech.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Please also like the video, share it, and don't forget to subscribe and check out Ronaldo now in about 5 minutes on his channel. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. I will be back tomorrow night, but if I don't see you there, stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.